Hello, future biologists. Welcome to today's exciting journey into the microscopic world of the cell. We are diving deep into a crucial part of every cell, the plasma membrane. This amazing structure acts as the cell's gatekeeper, deciding what comes in and what goes out. We'll explore its fascinating lipid bilayer and protein components and understand why it's selectively permeable. Get ready to uncover the secrets of this vital cellular boundary, from easy concepts to advanced insights. Let's begin. Ready to unlock the first layer of secrets? Let's start with the basics of what the plasma membrane is and what it does. It's simpler than you think. The plasma membrane is like the skin of your cell. For animal cells, it's the outermost layer, giving the cell its shape and holding everything inside. In plant cells, it's just inside the rigid cell wall. Its most important job is to act as a protective boundary, separating the cell's internal environment from the outside world. Imagine your house needing a boundary to keep you safe and your belongings secure. That's exactly what the plasma membrane does for a cell. It ensures the cell's delicate machinery stays intact and protected from external changes. So, what is this incredible boundary made of? The plasma membrane is primarily composed of two main things: lipids, which are types of fats, and proteins. The lipids form a double layer, called a lipid bilayer. Think of it like a sandwich, where the two bread slices are lipid layers. Embedded within and attached to this lipid bilayer are various proteins. These proteins act like specialized doors, channels, or pumps. Together, these components make the membrane selectively permeable, meaning it's very picky about what it lets in or out. It allows necessary substances like water and oxygen to enter, and waste products to leave, while blocking unwanted materials. It's a sophisticated filtering system. Time to check your understanding. Think about these questions. 1. What is the primary function of the plasma membrane? 2. Name the two main components of the plasma membrane. And 3. Explain what selectively permeable means in simple terms. Take a moment to jot down your answers. Now, let's peel back another layer and delve deeper into the plasma membrane's structure and how it truly operates. This is where it gets really interesting. For a long time, scientists wondered how the plasma membrane was structured. The widely accepted explanation today is the fluid mosaic model. Imagine a vast, fluid sea of lipids, with various proteins floating and moving within it, much like icebergs. This fluid nature means that the components of the membrane, both lipids and many proteins, are not fixed in place but can move sideways. The mosaic part comes from the diverse array of proteins scattered throughout, giving it a patchy, intricate appearance. This dynamic and flexible structure is crucial for the cell to grow, divide, move, and respond to its environment effectively. Let's examine the building blocks in more detail. The lipid bilayer is made of special molecules called phospholipids. Each phospholipid has a head that loves water, called hydrophilic, and two tails that hate water, called hydrophobic. They arrange themselves naturally in a double layer, with the water-loving heads facing outwards towards the watery environments both inside and outside the cell, and the water-fearing tails tucked safely in the middle. This unique arrangement forms a stable yet flexible barrier. The proteins, as we mentioned, are also key players. Integral proteins are embedded deep within the lipid bilayer, sometimes spanning it entirely, acting as channels or transporters. Peripheral proteins, on the other hand, are loosely attached to the surface, often involved in cell signaling or recognition. How does the plasma membrane manage its selective permeability? It uses several clever mechanisms. First, simple diffusion where small, uncharged molecules like oxygen and carbon dioxide simply pass directly through the lipid bilayer, moving from an area of higher concentration to lower concentration. Second, For larger or charged molecules like glucose or ions, there's facilitated diffusion where they still move from high to low concentration but need help from specific protein channels or carriers. Third, osmosis is the special movement of water across the membrane, also from high to low water concentration. And finally, for substances that need to move against their concentration gradient, from low to high, the cell employs active transport ***. This process requires specific carrier proteins and cellular energy, usually in the form of ATP, to pump substances where they are needed. These diverse methods ensure the cell maintains its internal balance. Alright, let's solidify your understanding of the medium-level concepts. Here are 5 questions for you. 1. Describe the fluid mosaic model of the plasma membrane. 2. What is the difference between integral and peripheral proteins? 3. How do oxygen and carbon dioxide usually cross the plasma membrane? 4. Explain osmosis in the context of the plasma membrane. And 5. Why is active transport important for a cell? Pause and think through your answers. Excellent work so far. Now, for those of you who love a challenge, let's explore the more intricate details and advanced functions of the plasma membrane. Prepare for some deeper insights. Beyond phospholipids and proteins, the plasma membrane includes other vital components. Cholesterol, present in animal cell membranes, acts like a temperature buffer. It prevents the membrane from becoming too rigid at cold temperatures or too fluid at warm temperatures, maintaining optimal flexibility. Carbohydrates are also crucial. They are often attached to proteins, forming glycoproteins, or to lipids, forming glycolipids, on the outer surface of the membrane. Together, these form the glycocalyx, a sugary coat that acts as the cell's unique identification tag. This glycocalyx is essential for cell-cell recognition, allowing cells to distinguish themselves from foreign invaders and to adhere to one another, which is vital for tissue formation and immune responses. The proteins embedded within and attached to the plasma membrane are true multitaskers, performing a diverse array of functions. Firstly, they act as transport channels or carriers, moving specific substances across the membrane. Secondly, some proteins exhibit enzymatic activity catalyzing metabolic reactions near the membrane surface. Thirdly, signal transduction is a key role, where receptor proteins bind to chemical messengers like hormones, relaying signals from outside to inside the cell. Fourthly, cell recognition is facilitated by glycoproteins, acting as cellular ID tags crucial for development and immunity. Fifthly, proteins form intercellular junctions physically connecting adjacent cells for adhesion or communication. Finally, they also provide attachment to the cytoskeleton and extracellular matrix helping to maintain cell shape and position within tissues. These varied functions highlight the membrane's dynamic and essential role in cellular life. The selective permeability of the plasma membrane is beautifully illustrated through osmosis and the behavior of cells in different solutions, a concept known as tonicity. When a cell is in an isotonic solution the solute concentration outside is equal to that inside, so there's no net movement of water, and the cell maintains its normal shape. However, in a hypertonic solution the external solute concentration is lower. Water rushes into the cell, causing animal cells to swell and potentially burst, a process called lysis. Plant cells, with their rigid cell walls, become turgid but usually don't burst. Conversely, in a hypertonic solution the external solute concentration is higher. Water moves out of the cell, causing animal cells to shrink or crenate, and plant cells to undergo plasmolysis, where the cell membrane pulls away from the cell wall. Understanding these dynamics is fundamental to comprehending how cells regulate their water balance and maintain homeostasis. You've tackled some complex ideas. Let's test your grasp with these 7 challenging questions. 1. What role does cholesterol play in the plasma membrane of animal cells? 2. Describe the function of the glycocalyx. 3. List and briefly explain 3 different functions of membrane proteins. 4. A red blood cell is placed in a hypertonic solution. What will happen to the cell and why? 5. Distinguish between simple diffusion and facilitated diffusion. 6. Explain the term signal transduction in relation to membrane proteins. And 7. Why do plant cells not burst when placed in a hypertonic solution, unlike animal cells? Take your time to formulate comprehensive answers. All right, science enthusiasts, are you ready for the ultimate challenge? We are about to dive into the cutting edge of plasma membrane biology, exploring its historical evolution, intricate biophysical properties, specialized structures, and profound clinical implications. This is where you connect the dots and see the bigger picture. Our understanding of the plasma membrane didn't appear overnight, it evolved through decades of scientific inquiry. Early observations confirmed a cell boundary, but its exact composition was a mystery. In 1925, Gotter and Grendel proposed the lipid bilayer model after extracting lipids from red blood cells, correctly inferring a double layer. However, they overlooked the role of proteins. This was addressed in 1935 by Dovso and Danieli, who introduced the protein-lipid sandwich model, suggesting proteins coated the lipid bilayer. While a significant step, this model couldn't explain the diverse functions and dynamic nature of proteins. The breakthrough came in 1972 with Singer and Nicholson's fluid mosaic model. This revolutionary model accurately depicts the membrane as a fluid bilayer with proteins embedded within and traversing it, capable of lateral movement. It remains the cornerstone of modern membrane biology. The plasma membrane possesses remarkable biophysical properties that dictate its function. Its fundamental characteristic is fluidity, allowing lipids and many proteins to move laterally within the membrane plane. This dynamic movement is vital for processes like cell growth and division. While lateral diffusion is common, transverse diffusion, or flip-flop, where lipids switch between the two layers, is rare and energetically unfavorable, requiring specific enzymes called flipases. Cholesterol, a key component in animal cells, acts as a fluidity buffer, ensuring the membrane maintains optimal viscosity across varying temperatures. Another critical aspect is membrane asymmetry. The inner and outer leaflets of the bilayer have distinct lipid compositions, and the glycocalyx is exclusively on the outer surface. This asymmetry is crucial for directional signaling, cell recognition, and precise membrane trafficking, contributing significantly to the cell's sophisticated regulatory mechanisms. Beyond its fundamental structure, the plasma membrane forms specialized domains and connections essential for complex multicellular life. Lipid rafts for instance, are dynamic microdomains enriched in cholesterol and sphingolipids that serve as platforms for organizing signaling molecules, facilitating efficient signal transduction. Cells also exhibit specialized surface structures like microvilli finger-like projections that dramatically increase the surface area for absorption, particularly evident in the intestinal lining. Furthermore, cells in multicellular organisms are connected by various intercellular junctions tight junctions form impermeable seals between cells, preventing leakage of extracellular fluid and maintaining tissue integrity, as seen in the gut lining. Desmosomes provide strong mechanical adhesion, anchoring cells together in tissues subjected to significant stress, such as skin. For direct communication, Gap junctions in animal cells and plasmodesmata in plant cells create cytoplasmic channels, allowing the passage of small molecules and ions, enabling coordinated cellular responses. These specialized structures underscore the membrane's role in tissue organization and intercellular communication. The life of membrane components is a dynamic cycle of synthesis, modification, and trafficking. Most membrane lipids and proteins begin their journey in the endoplasmic reticulum and are further processed in the Golgi apparatus. Vesicular transport, involving the budding and fusion of small membrane-bound sacs called vesicles, is the primary mechanism for moving these components to their correct destinations, including the plasma membrane. Endocytosis is the process by which cells internalize substances by forming vesicles from the plasma membrane, encompassing phagocytosis for solids, pinocytosis for liquids, and receptor-mediated endocytosis for specific uptake. Conversely, exocytosis is the process of expelling substances from the cell by fusing vesicles with the plasma membrane. Malfunctions in these intricate membrane proteins or trafficking pathways are implicated in a wide array of human diseases, from genetic disorders like cystic fibrosis, caused by a defective chloride channel, to metabolic conditions like type 2 diabetes, involving insulin receptor dysfunction. Understanding membrane biology is therefore not just academic, but critically important for medical advancements. All right, deepest thinkers, here are your first 5 challenging questions. 1. Compare and contrast the Davso-Danieli model with the Singer-Nicolson fluid mosaic model, highlighting why the latter is currently accepted. 2. Explain the concept of membrane fluidity and describe how cholesterol influences it. 3. Discuss the significance of membrane asymmetry, providing examples of how it is established and maintained. 4. Detail the different types of intercellular junctions found in animal cells and explain their respective functions. And 5. Describe the process of receptor-mediated endocytosis and provide an example of its importance. Good luck! And now, for the remaining 5 questions, pushing your understanding even further. 6. How are new membrane lipids and proteins synthesized and transported to their final destinations, including the plasma membrane? 7. Elaborate on the role of lipid rafts in cellular processes. 8. Explain how the plasma membrane contributes to the establishment and maintenance of membrane potential and why this is vital for cell function. 9. Discuss the molecular basis of cystic fibrosis in relation to plasma membrane protein function. And 10. Propose a scenario where a defect in membrane protein glycosylation could lead to a significant cellular dysfunction. These questions require comprehensive, analytical answers. You've got this. That was an incredible deep dive into the plasma membrane. From its basic structure to its complex functions and clinical relevance, you've explored the amazing gatekeeper of our cells. Remember, learning doesn't stop here. For more engaging and in-depth educational content, visit synapse.omaps.in. You'll find a wealth of resources across various subjects and topics designed to help you excel. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for regular updates and new lessons. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep building your knowledge. See you in the next session.